Detroit minus 9.5, over under a 56.5. Now, Jay, you and I have followed gambling enough to know that when everybody is on something, maybe you don't bet it. And it feels like here that total of 55.5 is the thing that most gamblers, or at least early in the week, that's what's going to be attacked, is that total, because everyone is expecting a high scoring game.
Yeah, when I see a number like that, I kind of laugh and move on. I don't love playing totals personally, so I see that number. And when it's playoff football, I would look only at the under when I see a number like that. And if it starts to come down, maybe I punch the under there. I think the bye week for the Lions could not have been more crucial. I believe their bye week during the season was week 5. It's a banged up team. I think at running back, David Montgomery may play. You made some great points about the Chiefs and comparison to the Patriots and being healthy. I believe Detroit needed this bye as much as any team possibly could have going into this matchup. And I also think the bracket shook out well for him, right? To get the Commanders coming in. And I believe in Jaden Daniels, and I don't think he's going to be scared. And I certainly think that they could make it interesting. But for the Lions, right, you don't have Stafford coming in yet, right? It's going to be either a rematch if you can get through Washington, it's going to be either a rematch with Stafford coming in, the old Detroit Lion, or you're going to get the 2 seed who you've sort of known was maybe coming all year. And I think this particular game, for them to have a spot like this against really an inferior team, no matter how much I like Washington, really bodes very well for the Lions as they sort of make their run. And I'm going to go back to when Dan Campbell didn't rest anyone in San Francisco and prioritized the win in week 17. He's pushed all the right buttons. And I think being aggressive for him, even with personnel, even in spots where he could have rested, gave him the rest when they really should be taking it. I'm not saying I like them to win by double digits necessarily, but man, I like them to maybe get through this conference.
Yeah, the 9.5 is a big number to cover in a round like this. And look, why are people sort of going to the total? And I feel what you're saying on totals. You got to have a very strong feeling, I think, to go there. But Commanders Lions, it opened at 54.5. It's already up to 55.5. And you look at the 2021 AFC Championship game between the Bengals and the Chiefs. That was also 54.5. So if this line keeps going up, the total, and it's worth watching during the week, it'd be the highest since Super Bowl 50 between the Bucs and the Chiefs. That had Tom Brady and Pat Mahomes. That had 56 as the total, and the Lions had 10 games this year listed of a total in the 50s, and we know that they went over a lot. So I think my issue is I think the Lions will hold up their end of the bargain offensively, even though the Lions aren't great on defense. I just wonder if the spot is a bad one for the Commanders going in against a team where, say, the Lions jump up 10-0, 14-0, 17-3. Yes, the Commanders can come back, but you're playing into the Lions' hands at that point.
No question about it. And when you look at totals, right, if you're going to have a team like the Vikings last night fall flat, you're going to be in real trouble, right? So if you're going to hit a number like 55, unless Detroit's putting up 40 points in a rout, you need both teams to do some things. And I think that Detroit defense is going to be a little bit better this weekend. I think they're starting to turn the corner. I think they're getting a little bit healthier. So that's an interesting spot. I may be pretty chalky on that game too as the weekend progresses, but I believe I punched a teaser early on with Washington in there, just getting it over 14 at one point, just because I like rooting for Jaden Daniels. I don't want to root against Jaden Daniels, Gresh.
No, I understand that. There's the fan element of it, and that's where I'm a cold, heartless soul, and don't care about the rooting interest. It's just all about the monies